everybody, I'm back again. Now today I'm going to be talking about crystal skulls, and I know it's something that people are often nervous about and they think they're quite ugly to look at, but they have an amazing energy, and I'm going to try as best as I can to convince you that they are lovely. Nothing horrible, nothing dark and nothing sinister. Now, the crystal skulls have been around for a long time. People have been using them. They believe the Mayans use them for doing meditation and talking to their gods. Also, they believe the Atlanteans used them as well. And there were 12 temples, and in each of the temples in Atlantis, they had a crystal skull. Now, when Atlantis was destroyed in the Great Flood, the crystal skulls, quite, horribly, shall we say, they disappeared. Now, there is a legend that when all the crystal skulls from Atlantis join back together again, that means that mankind will be going into ascension, which, of course, some of you know about 2012, where all the planets lined up. And we all got like a vibration with all the planets. People had attunements, and that's where you're raising your vibrational level. They do believe, they can't prove it, but they do believe that there is a skull under the Sphinx. And they also believe as well that there's a skull, under Ayers Rock and different places around the world. Now, moving on to that, there was the Knights Templar, and the Knights Templar, they went around securing, shall we say, and safeguarding any relics. And again, people believe that the Knights Templars use crystal skulls. Now, when they use the crystal skulls, they possibly would use them for meditation. I also believe that they use them to bring in nice energy because they're very powerful. Now, modern day scientists have proven that the skulls have electromagnetic field, and they said, or they believe, it's because of the shape of them. Now, there's loads and loads of different sorts. Now, crystal skulls nowadays are made in different types of crystals. So, one of my favourites I've got here is this little one here, look. And if I can tune in a little, we'll come a bit closer. Now, with crystal skulls, you use their energy for you to daydream. Use their energy to bring in positive energy. You can use their energy to almost like a blessing, really. Like even if you had one in your lounge, or, somewhere where you're doing computer work or doing some healing or meditation. Because it's a very strong energy, because it's compact, the crystal, it's going to bring in a lot of positive energy. I've never known any crystal skulls to be bad, ever. And I've worked with crystal skulls for a long, long time now. But this particular one, I'm going to show you this, only smallish, look. But it's quite pretty. But what I like, I don't know if you can you see those two little marks there that look almost like eyelashes? So that is like the female part that I believe of the skull. And then that one, I don't know if you can see, that's the male. And can you see inside? I don't know if you can see it very well. There's like a triangle. Now, when I meditate with it, this one here with the triangle inside, that there seems to open up. And I know it's my imagination. People are going to think, well, some people believe in crystal skulls and that and that. But if people don't, they'll be thinking a bit loopy. But again, using your intuition, you're using your imagination, and crystal skulls just help you to lose yourself a little bit more so you can meditate and just daydream, right? So when I'm tuning to this one, I believe that this one here, this triangle there, opens up into a cavern. And in this cavern, there are seats made out of crystal. There's also a little waterfall in there. And often I'll daydream and go in there in meditation to meet my spirit guides. And that, I think, is lovely, because that, again, gives me some sort of peace and relaxation and talk and intuition. Around this one Can you see it's got like a line across it? Now this one's the female side, and often if I want to go in there, if I've want to rest or to recharge my batteries or whatever, I imagine that as a crystal bench, so like a therapy bed if you like, so you can go in there to do like your relaxation and your healing. So those are two. So that's the female with the eyelashes and that's the male. But then you can even imagine you're going inside the nostrils. Now that sounds a bit horrible, you might think in bogies or whatever, but again, you're using your imagination, and you can just lose yourself and help yourself to meditate. So you can either go in the right or the left, and you can imagine being doors. You've also sometimes on the bigger ones, you've got like cavities under here that goes in, and then also underneath. Now, when you use a crystal skull, the one thing is with any crystals, you don't hold it tightly, because with crystals, naturally, they want to vibrate. And if you're holding on to them really, really tight, they can't vibrate. Now, some people, with all crystals, if you allow them, so long as you don't drop them on the floor, if you allow them to vibrate, they're almost like disappear into your hand. And that sounds a bit weird. But because you are relaxing so much, they're vibrating and that, you'll find that they will almost like disappear. So that is a nice one. Now, another little one here, which is quite sweet. And, oh, by the way, that one's picture jasper, I think, that one. Yeah. This one here is Smoky Quartz. Now, it's only tiny again, and that's quite nice, these little ones to hold into your hands, yeah? Now, this one, I don't know if you can show, oh, yes, you can a little bit. Can you see it's got like a rainbow in it? So that is where you've got like trapped water. Now, you can imagine that crystal's coming out the soil, and by the way, crystal skulls are made out of a chunk of crystal. So if you've got some trapped water in there, can you imagine what energy, what memories, what might be hiding in there? But when you can find rainbows as well, to me, rainbows in any crystal will bring in positive energy where you can lift yourself up, make you feel a bit more, giggly and happy and doing, asking for things and, not on about you being sad or negative or anything, but, if you just wanted to be lifted up and have a bit of fun, because the thing is, the older you get, quite often you become too serious, don't you, with everything going on. So that's quite a nice one, and you can see with the rainbows in it, with the trapped water, right? Now, again, I'm going to tell you a little story. Now, this skull here probably doesn't look very nice. Can you see it's got funny eyebrows? Now, believe it or not, my husband Paul would back me up on this one. I had a dream about a smoky quartz skull that was ugly, that was in a library, and it was on a shelf, and I had to move these books and find this crystal skull. I also had a meditation, and I kept seeing this ugly crystal skull. Paul and I, my husband, went to Glastonbury, and lo and behold, there was this ugly crystal skull of smoky quartz hiding in a glass cupboard, if you like. And even though it was £180, because it was Glastonbury, isn't it? You're going back about 10, 12 years ago, whatever, I can't remember off the top of my head. But I just had to go buy it. And luckily, because I'd already said to Paul, I've seen it in meditation and I've seen it in a dream, I've got to get a crystal skull. It's ugly, it's smoky quartz. So when I saw this and it was £100, £180, Paul would probably think, no. But because I'd already told him things like that beforehand, we know we've got to look for him. But this one, I find is quite difficult to meditate with, because can you see that the, the eye sockets are quite flat, and also the teeth, and that's not got much shape. But I find it's very protective. It also seems to give me, knowledge and guidance and all that sort of thing. So it's almost as if it's very private. I don't want you to meditate with me, but I want to be in your house and I want to be in your therapy room. So I'm going to help you, but I'm going to be like watching you rather than you interacting with me. So, and by the way, all crystal skulls have their own characters. And I've known people over the years that go, oh, I don't like them. Oh, you know, and they think it's something really weird from, I don't know, a haunted sort of manor or whatever that you see on television. But the people have said that over the years, and they've picked one up, they've held it, they've closed their eyes, and they can feel the vibration and feel the energy, and you know they're hooked. And I've had people buy one, and they've ended up with buying a whole load, and you almost end up with a crystal skull family. I mean, I haven't got a clue how many I've got around the house, but I mean, you know, I haven't got many big ones, by the way, but, you know, they are lovely. But this one, because it's a bit more chunky, you'll find he isn't the type of one really that you necessarily hold, because the big ones tend to be like a spiritual library, or they tend to be ones that you have nearby when you want to meditate with them, whereas the smaller ones, quite rightly, they're quite easy to hold into your hands, so they're a bit easier to hold, aren't they, rather than a big one like that. Now those are different types. Now then, I'm building to another one. By the way, those are what I've just shown you are mine, so I'm not selling them. But this one here, can you see the size of him? And he, believe it or not, is £180, the same as what that cost. And can you, I don't know if you can see it very well, but can you see the size? And by the way, the weight of them, like there is a particular film on television or whatever, I'm not going to say which one it is, and they hold up a crystal skull that's massive. There's no way, that's so heavy. If that dropped on your foot, I'll tell you what, you'd probably lose your toenail. And this one is, let me have a look, is a Russian Astro. Can't pronounce it very well, but it looks horrible in the sense that it's dark. But if you notice, it's almost got like hidden, like different blues and greens and all that sort of thing in it. I don't know if you can see it. But this one, believe it or not, has the male and the female sockets again, one for intuition, which you go for healing, and the other one, of course, where you go for messages and guidance and that sort of thing. But this one has got a lot of Knights Templar energy, and his name, I've forgotten what his name is Arthur. Now, you might think that's a bit silly, but every crystal skull that's made, even one that was made this morning in a factory that was carved out, nowadays they're doing with lasers and that, as far as I know. I mean, there is one gentleman who's really good, you know, he carves them and does them by hand, you know. But with the crystal skulls, as soon as they are made, they have at least 3 spiritual guardians that are assigned to them, because it's almost as if it's what's the word, like a contradiction, that they're ugly but they've got a secret. They're ugly, but inside this underlust is beauty, and the beauty is healing, meditation, guidance. So it's almost as if you have to be a spiritual person to recognise the beauty within, if you understand what I mean. But this one has got a Knights Templar energy. It's also got Druid energy, and it's got, so what is it, Greeks, Romans, and it's got a lot of wisdom, and it's almost as if it's been there, done it, bought the t-shirt. And it's very much in lifting your energy up. People that haven't got any self-esteem, like, you know, making you more assertive, giving you confidence. You know, don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to speak your own opinion. You know, as long as you're respectful, you don't, you know, be horrible to anybody. But he is lovely. Now, if you look, he's got nice there, look, and he's got nice cavities and all that sort of thing in his nose and all that. And again, look at his teeth. Now, people are saying these are, but honestly, whenever you get a chance, if you go, not now because we're all on lockdown, not when, but if you get a chance and you see a crystal skull, say, well, I've seen Linda talk about them, she's passionate, well, let's just pick one up and just see what it does. And sometimes you are drawn to the ones that look a bit strange or look a bit weird, shall we say, because they like pick you rather than you pick them. So that's him, and that's Arthur. So put Arthur down. There you go, my darling. Now the next one is Lyle. Now Lyle, now look at the size of him, and again compare it to that one and there. Look at the size of that, and that is Labradorite. Now Labradorite, the crystal looks a little bit like petrol. You know petrol, it goes all in different colours and it goes all in different shades and that. So I don't know if I can twist it so you can see it. But, you know, so Lyle is a beauty. Now Lyle's a bit more money. I mean, you know, this one's £200, so you can tell, you know, with the carving and all that sort of thing, how lovely and what have you is with him. And by the way, a lot of skulls do tend to be male, but there are a few out there, which I'm going to show you a female one in a minute. Now Lyle has a lot of rainbow energy, and he works with the archangel energy, with the dolphin energy, dragon energy and unicorn energy, because it's got a very high frequency. Now Labradorite, the crystal itself, let alone the skull, Labradorite helps you to let go of the past. It helps you to almost have intuitiveness about your life's purpose, about why are you here, because all of us are here to help each other. I mean, it's almost like a great big jigsaw that we're all interconnecting. So Lyle, I'm just looking here because of my notes, it helps on etheric cords. Now etheric cords is a spiritual energy that you can't see, but it is an energy that is connected to something you feel that you've got guilty, or you've made a pledge or an oath, or it could even be like chocolate, I don't know. But you've got like an etheric cord, an energy that goes to a particular thing. Now this could be good, but also it could be damaging. Now with him, he will help to increase the energy of something good. But if it's something not very good for you, he will then help you to dissolve it and let it go. Like some people always say about cutting etheric cords. To me, if you cut it, you're only going to crave that chocolate more. You know, but if you have it dissolved, you might go on to jelly babies, I don't know. But he is amazing, and he's so heavy, like I'm struggling to hold him in one hand, you know, and that's him there, look, that one there, and he's beautiful, yeah? Now with him as well, when I meditated, and this is how I get to know their names, he, underneath here, showed me a spiral staircase going into a turret, and also there's an old man there at the top, and he got a key. And because I didn't look after the skull, skull was not mine because it's going to be passed on, he would not give him the key. So I, in meditation, couldn't go into this imaginary turret. So with all skulls, they'll wait until they pick you. Now the thing is, quite rightly, when I am no longer here and I've grown my wings and I've gone up to heaven, because I'm not going, you know, because I'm a good girl, you'll find that this skull, unlike the other skull, well not this one because it's going on to somebody, but all my skulls are going to then be passed on to somebody else. And that's why people who have a crystal skull are called a keeper. So we're the keeper. Now when the keeper has been chosen for this skull and the other skulls, the keeper then, when they're doing meditation and doing healing, you'll find they'll be able to tune into their secrets, because the three spiritual guardians would then be passing on information in the dreams, in the meditation, intuitively to their keeper. So you've got three spiritual guardians that go with every single skull, and then you've got the keeper, which, like, where are we? Where is he? He's gone here. The Aries, that one there. The keeper, and by the way, I didn't say his name's Keith. I forgot to tell you his name's Keith. It's an unusual name, but yeah, well, not unusual as such. But I'm his keeper, but when I'm no longer here, he'll no doubt be passed on to somebody else. And quite rightly, if it's a non-spiritual person, they'll go, oh, that's ugly, I don't want that, that's an ugly paperweight. But if it's somebody spiritual that's in the know, they go, wow, you know, look at that one, I want him, I want him. So they then become the keeper. So it's almost as if these crystal skulls have got a secret. And the secret is they look ugly, but they're not. You don't know what's going on inside there. So that one as well, I found that you've got the spiritual turret here. And also when I was meditating this one, I found as well that it connected with the dolphins on a beach. And you went through a dark cave, and through the dark cave you went into the light that then led on to a beach. And it's weird because, again, it's like going through the dark, so don't be frightened, don't be sort of like thinking or everything like, you've got to go through the dark to then get to the nice beach. Now he helps with his rainbow energy for lifting people up, to bring in, you know, positive energy, self-worth, you know, self-respect, self-confidence and all that. I mean, all of these are like spiritual libraries, and you'll find that they will grow with their keeper. Now, when you first have a crystal skull, I suggest for you to sleep with, not literally, to sleep with the crystal skull by your bed for 3 nights. Now, what that does is your 3 spiritual guardians with the crystal skull will then be connecting to the new keeper, and they'll be talking to you subconsciously in your dreams, and they'll be giving you information. And that's why with these, with them being like a spiritual library, they have a lot of knowledge that they can pass on to people, not consciously that you're going to remember maybe, but subconsciously. So that, you know, that's a nice one. That was the Labradorite. Now the female one that I've got, let me just put this one down. The female one I've got is Tanya. Now look at her beauty. Now Tanya is £160. Now she works with goddess energy, but also Athena. And I don't know if any of you know about goddess Athena, but she's the one that you've probably seen with Greek and that, with the owl on her, yeah? Now Athena, when I've worked with goddess Athena in your dreams and meditation, what have you, you'll find that she's got like an old matriarch type of energy, very wise, and she's the type that doesn't want confrontation, but on the other hand doesn't stand in nonsense. But she will help you with wisdom to like talk things through. So she has a lot of energy to help with self-worth. And what I also like about Athena, she helps with self-sabotage. You know, people hanging on to guilt, and they want to, you know, they feel they've got to, I don't know, not give themselves any confidence and knock themselves down, and they have trouble saying no and all that sort of thing. Well, she will help the person to be at one with themselves, because, you know, all of us got something wrong with us. If we're pure and if we're too good, nobody will like us. So we've all got to have our own little quirks. So that is what Tanya, she will help with. And again, she's got her eye socket then. Now, it just happens the right one is to do with guidance, the left one with healing. But again, she's not revealed herself too much. It's almost like I just keep getting a smile with her, like an energy, as if she's waiting and very patient and all that. But look at her, look at all the, you know, gaps in her, and look at that, you know, beautiful. And look at the quality of that, because some rose quartz, they can be quite a bit wishy-washy. You see how it's quite pale there, but look how strong that is there. Now, you're starting to love them yet? I'll get you, you know, converted one of these days. But let me know if you've got any crystal skulls yourself, anything you want to know about them. You know, and even if you see a picture of a crystal skull on the internet, just put your hand over it and just see. I know you've got the computer and all that sort of thing, but you'll find that you'll resonate with it. And some of them you'll just click and you just think, oh, I like that one, you know. And it's almost as if with us owning crystals, no, we don't own them, so we're keepers, we're guardians. Well, no, we've got guardians, we're just looking after them for a bit, aren't we? But it's almost as if we've got a secret. You know, they're ugly, but what's inside, you know? So my lovelies, I'll be talking to you tomorrow about orgonites, and then on Thursday we'll be doing a meditation, and I'm going to take you into the library. So, you know, God bless, stay safe, and please keep in touch. Oh, and I forgot to mention, if anybody saw my meditation on, when was it, yesterday, I forgot to ask some of you, did any of you get the message in the sand? And also, what was the little gift that you was given by your spirit guide at the garden gate? All right, my lovelies, take care. God bless. And I'll speak to you all tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Take care. Bye. Oh, I can't even switch it off. Hold on.